What's going on? How are you all doing? What are you saying about this new lighting setup? Moody, innit? Right, so today we're going to be talking about them top accessories that you need in your camera bag, and if you ain't got them in your camera bag, I do not know what you're doing with your life, mate. What are you doing? Let's get cracking. First up, we've got a lens cleaning kit. Now, if you haven't got a lens cleaning kit in your bag, I do not know what you're doing. If you get something dodgy on your lens, like this,
what the f*** is that?
you need one of these. So let's take a little look inside and what typically most lens cleaning kits have. So, first of all, blower. You all know what these are. These are for blowing all that dust, all that crap off of your lens, and also they're good for blowing all the crap off of your sensor. If you can clean your lenses, your sensors without touching them, you're a winner, mate. Because as soon as you start touching your lenses, you can scratch them, you can rub dirt into them, and it actually makes your lenses worse. So if you don't have to touch them, don't touch them. Next, inside the cleaning kit, you have your typical lens brush, just to brush all of that crap off of your lens that you can't get off with your blower. Standard. You also have a microfiber cloth for obviously wiping the crap off of your lens that doesn't come off with either of these two. So if things get really serious and someone slapped a wet nut all over your lens, this is when you need to pump out the alcohol swab. So basically, these are just like a wet alcohol swab. You wipe it on the lens, get all that grease off there that someone's, I don't know what they've done to your lens, I don't want to know. But these are what are going to resurrect your lenses and make them look peng again. I've told you once, don't forget your lens cleaning kit. Next up, we've got your typical multi-tool. These are also known as Leathermans and other things, but essentially it's just a mini little toolkit, and on set I'm telling you, you're going to need this more than you know, mate. I use this all the time just to get myself out of sticky little situations. Maybe I've got a screw loose on my tripod, maybe I need to cut some zip ties that I've got on my lights. I need it all the time. So on here you've got typical things like a flathead screwdriver, you've also got the Phillips end screwdriver, you've obviously got the pliers, and you've also obviously got a knife on there for when you need to cut things or your client's doing your editing. But on a serious note, people, this thing saves me every single time. Other than the lens cleaning kit, this is easily the thing I use the most. So I definitely recommend having one of these in your camera bag. So next up, we've got a selection of camera tapes. Now, I usually use camera tape for when I'm setting marks for my subjects. So say I want my subject to walk from here to here, and I don't want them to go any further because of my focus or whatever, I'll set a mark here and I'll set a mark here, and then they'll know where to walk. So that's probably the main thing I use my tape for. Also, I use it to stick on the side of the camera so that I know what camera settings I want my AC's camera to be, just so that I can kind of match up cameras, things like that. Also, they're nice to stick over the end of dead batteries and memory cards. Once you stick them over the end of a memory card, then you know the next time you take that tape off, you have to back up that footage, because that memory card is full of juicy footage that needs to be backed up. Next up, we've got a selection of permanent marker pens. Now, I usually use these just to mark my camera tape. Say, for example, I've got a bit of tape on my camera. I can then write on there whatever I want. Camera settings, ND filters, lens configurations, any kind of information that I want on the camera or anywhere else, I've got all the pens for it. Very, very simple, but honestly, you need these. Next up, we have got zip ties. These come in handy so bloody often. The reason you'd actually need these is if you're going to tie maybe a cable to your tripod. Like now, I've got my microphone there and my cable's running all the way down my tripod. You can also use them just to kind of fix things on set when things maybe snap. For example, once one of my light stands just snapped and I was like, crap, what the hell am I going to do here? Luckily, I had my zip ties in my bag, whipped them out, mate, zipped that thing back together. I've got a working light stand for the rest of the day. So, yeah, mate, honestly, the reason you'd need these is when you're in trouble. So, definitely keep them hanging about. You can also get these zip ties that you literally zip on and they unzip themselves. So, these are actually really handy because then once you've used them, you don't have to cut them off and then they're goners, mate. You can just use this over and over. And yeah, you're probably saving a bit of the planet and all, which is always handy. Next up, we've got some Allen keys. Now, this is very, very similar to the multi-tool, but I find myself using these quite often because most tripod bolts have Allen keys, and a couple of times the bolts on my tripod have come loose, and all you have to do is whip this out, mate, and you've pretty much got an entire toolkit here with two little little tings, basically. Allen keys, make sure you got them. Next up, we've got a spirit level. Now, this isn't really too necessary, but I like to have it just so I can make sure that things like the tables, tripod, my camera, and my sensor is perfectly balanced. So yeah, this is something that you don't need, but I like to have it in my camera bag, and I'll just plonk that on top of the camera, and I can tell when it is completely level, because the ones on your tripod aren't always accurate because the head sometimes tilts. So yeah. Next thing that you need in your camera bag, just a bunch of cables, mate. We've got various different cables. We've got a mini HDMI. We've got micro USBs. Just having a bundle of little cables that you could potentially need. For example, if you lose your card reader, you can actually plug your camera directly into your laptop and transfer the footage from the SD card through the camera onto the laptop. I just like to have these handy, just in case. So last but not least, but definitely very boring, we've got your standard notepad. These are definitely a lifesaver on set. Just get yourself a nice small notepad, wang it in your camera bag, and it's always going to be there. Any kind of information on the day that you might need later, you can make sure you can bang it on here. When you're in the edit, you can get your notebook out and you know a certain couple of bits that you would have forgot on set, right? Definitely bang one of these in your bag. So there you go, people. This is kind of my camera bag accessory kit. Now, I kind of learnt this at film school. As a first AC, you need this kit. This is essential. But this video is more for kind of single shooters, solo shooters like me. And a simple and easy way to keep all of this together is you get yourself a nice little clip like this. Obviously, it's got my tapes on. I can then stick my adjustable zip ties on there. Pens can just slip on there nice and easy. Your spirit level clips on there easy and all. So then all you have to do here is clip that onto your belt, hang it on your belt like that, and you can walk around and you've got everything you could possibly need just hanging about. Then obviously your cleaning kit just hangs about in your bag. This also zips onto your belt, and then the other bits just hang about in your bag. Very, very simple things. You might not think that you are going to need this in your kit, but if you are doing jobs, if you're working on film projects with clients, you need to have this there. You need to be as professional as possible if you're going to go out into the industry and represent us videographers and filmmakers as a whole. So go out there, get yourself a really nice camera bag accessories kit, because trust me, you will come into situations where you need this kind of stuff. People, I don't really know what else to say. I think that's it. I'll stick a couple of links in the description to where you can find like most of the general bits on here. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, hanging about with me for 8 or 9 minutes. Who wouldn't? Bang that subscribe button, and I will catch you lot in the next video. Peace.